weekend of trash. Tyson Fury, Otto Wallin this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean,
pay-per-view. Who's buying that in the UK?
I mean, where do we start with this card? Because look, while Emmanuel Navarre versus Juan Miguel Allotey might be fun, and Jose Pedraza versus Jose Cepeda might be fun, I don't care about any of this card. Like, from the top to bottom, I don't care.
Matt.
I am so frustrated. No, hold on. Let me rant. I am
Show that Mayan belt some respect.
I am so frustrated with the sport and with people like Tyson Fury, because he has gotten so much of a pass and a just overall glorification of him as a person since his comeback that it makes me sick to my stomach. Because when you look at what he's actually done, he's done nothing. Right? He's literally done not a single goddamn thing since he's come back. You know,
he beat Wilder.
Hold on. From a pure athletic perspective, the only thing he did was get off his back a couple times against Wilder and dodge some punches to a guy that we all think is one of the worst technical boxers in world level of a high level boxing, right? On top of that, he's only beating up guys that are borderline top 75, 50 guys in the division, in a division that is the worst in the sport. On top of that, when he's talked on and on how he's a changed man and he's no longer a homophobic, racist piece of shit, no, that's just not the case at all. He has still said some pretty outlandish shit, which we have videos from months ago you can go check out on this, okay? Tyson Fury is a fraud. He's a garbage person, okay? And his entire career is garbage, okay? These type of fights and events make me question what we do. Question why we follow the sport. Think about that. The fact that the, quote, lineal fucking champion could continually do shit to make me go, hey, why am I doing this? Like, why do I put up with this bullshit? Like, I can go work at McDonald's and probably get more satisfaction out of my career right now than following Tyson Fury's fucking career and reporting on it. Okay?
Do you feel like you're being fucked without Vaseline?
110%. And it honestly makes me wish we had the soundbite ready for that, Rob.
I feel like, yeah, I know. I should have got it. But
you fucked up.
You know, you were late. I was here. I was late.
I was late. I
wasn't late either. Gary.
And on top of that, guys, okay, Tyson Fury is a fucking dope fiend, crackhead motherfucker, okay? He is a guy that he has gone by on a drug suspension, retroactive drug suspension, and nobody questions it, nobody talks about it, nobody criticizes him for it at all. At all. But even guys like Dylan White, right, who we've talked about before, right? He's getting drugged through the mud when his case isn't even found out yet. And I know that's pretty shocking for me to make that point. Okay? Alexander Povetkin, for God's sake. Right? He got drugged through the mud far more than Fury, but yet obviously we allowed him back into the sport. Gerald Miller. I still get comments on old videos we've done, Rob. I don't talk about these comments because they're whacked out and I just block these people instantly. That go off the rails crazy when we bring up Gerald Miller in matchups later down the line. Because how dare we bring up his name? He should be in jail for what he's done.
But
no, Tyson Fury, he's a hero. He is a god among men. Okay, he's the greatest story in sports of the last century. Blah, 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 blah. Get the fuck out of here. Back to you, Rob. Rant over. I'm done. Sorry, I had to.
I mean, as people could see, there I am, photographed with the lineal champion of the world. You can see, I reckon I'm not far off. I got a bigger fist than him, by the way, just so you know. You compare it on a photo. Just a couple of inches difference in the height. Bring it on. I could be next. I could be next.
Johnny Alley or whatever your fucking name is. How is his whole career garbage? Talking absolute nonsense, Matt. First off, he is still to this day best known for punching himself in the face. Let's just be honest about it. Secondly, okay, his best win is one of the worst fights of the 21st century against Vladimir Klitschko, where a combined 74 punches were landed in 36 minutes of action. Okay, it was a bullshit fight where nothing happened. Tyson Fury didn't do anything. Klitschko didn't do anything, and one guy had his hand raised. He had a couple fights with Derek Chisora, who's a perennial top 20 guy. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Okay, has a draw with Deontay Wilder, who is coincidentally the same guy that a lot of you people in the chat say is the worst heavyweight champion ever. You know? So the guy that's the worst technical boxer in all of boxing still got a draw with the best boxing wizard since Willie Pep. No, fuck out of here. His career is grossly overrated. His legacy is grossly overrated. His skills are grossly overrated. And his current opposition is utter garbage. It is a dumpster fire of a career, guys.
Yeah, Lord Jacob. So how do you feel about Fury, Matt? But look, he's fighting Wallin this weekend. But yeah, I can't see this doing particularly well on pay-per-view here. When that was announced, it was like, whoa. Good luck with that one. But yeah, I don't know what kind of traction it's getting over there. I believe not really great. I can't see it doing great tickets-wise. This is in the T-Mobile Arena. Think of that. Like, was it 22,000 at the T-Mobile? I think they're not even opening the top.
No, they're not opening the top.
So I don't know. But he says he's not stepping aside. If that's what Wilder wants him to do, he's not stepping aside. He said he wouldn't even take 50 million to step aside. I don't know if that's to convince everybody and to say, look, I'm definitely not. You could just say, no, I'm not stepping aside. But I don't know. I mean, look, Steve Bunt said February 22nd isn't even happening according to people at ESPN. That was never happening anyway. So who the fuck knows what's going on? But yeah, this is, like I say, for one of the two Mayan belts that are being given out this Mexican weekend. The winner of this will be the WBC Mayan belt, whatever the fuck that means. But yeah, it's not good. We want to see better, but hopefully that better will be the rematch with Wilder. Sorry, but we will see. I'm not going to go quite deep dive as Matt did. I think we need him to woosah right now, and look forward to a different fight maybe.
Reminding people. Because you know me, Rob. Woosah? Nah, fuck out of here. Hold on, but God, the Independent. Stop pop-ups making the show crash right now. Fucking hell. No one wants to see your videos or your ads, Independent. Stop. Thank you. Okay, and we're back on. Let's not forget that in the build-up... Whoa.
I had a hand upon me tonight.
Fury.
Back.
Fury, I don't
and
care.
I got a good fighting spirit, and
Fury,
I'll never say die.
Fury, stop, please. Thank you. No one gives a fuck about you.
The way you spoke to him, I don't think he's going to stop, Matt.
Oh, that's a good point. In the build-up to his 2015 fight with Vladimir Klitschko, Fury likened homosexuality to pedophilia and explained that he believes the legislation of homosexuality and abortion are two of the three things that need to be accomplished before the devil comes home. He also went on to say, everyone just do what you can, listen to the government, follow everybody like sheep, be brainwashed by all the Zionist Jewish people who own all the banks, all the papers, all the TV stations, be brainwashed by them all. Yeah, fuck this guy, man. And when he was asked about it in the lead up to the Wilder fight, he said, no comment, I don't even go there, terminated, right? Famously, he did that in an interview. So no, okay, this guy won't even back up his old claims or at least talk about it openly and denounce them. Like, nah, this guy is trash. Trash human being. Okay, he hides behind mental health. Let's just be honest. He hides behind that issue completely.
There goes that interview.
You know what's funny is that I think it was like maybe 5 days ago. I was looking into getting credentialed for other events, right?
Yeah.
And this was still open, right? Though, and I was like, should I make the trip out to Vegas? You know, like there's not much going on.
The attendance.
And I'm like, or go to like Munguia, Patrick Allotey, which is obviously here in LA, right? It's at the former StubHub.
Ryan Garcia. Get that Ryan Garcia interview, Matt.
And it's like, no.
Neither?
I chose neither.
Oh, man, you whack.
Because I'm thinking, look, who would I want to get at the StubHub? First off, there's going to be no post-fight press conference. There's no press room. So I'm not going to get any of the undercard guys like Ryan Garcia. The second they're done with the fight, they're going off to the back room and they're gone. I'm not going to be able to have access to them.
Fight week, though.
Fight week, yes, but I don't need to be credentialed for the fight to go to fight week stuff.
No, I know, but I'm saying you're going to something fight week, maybe, yeah?
I could try, definitely. I have to look at the schedule. But like I'm talking about purely going to the fight. Like I would maybe get Munguia, and if Oscar's there, I'd maybe get Oscar. But knowing how the StubHub is set up,
you could poke him about Canelo. You could really rev him up, get him to lose his shit. I'll
put it this way: the StubHub is very unmedia friendly, not media friendly. It's not. It's not set up to be designed to like be conducive to media and interviews and media setups. It's a fan environment completely.
Also, I think sometimes your opinion isn't very media friendly.
That's definitely true.
But yeah, what else is on the this week's fight schedule that might get you a little more excited?
Let's talk about the Devin Haney card, which I really do like. I really do like. Let's talk about that. Probably
Eddie.
I mean, I am upset that the Daniel Roman fight is off.
Yeah, that's a shame. That was a shame.
Because even though that fight in of itself wasn't like the greatest fight, right?
I don't know. I think that was a good fight. The opponent, what's his name? Akhmedov.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah,
right. But it wasn't anything to make me go, "Ooh, that's an amazing fight on the card." It was more of a card supporter. Like Daniel Roman's on the card, that just adds up value to the undercard, right?
A good fight.
But overall, the card is still probably the best card of the weekend. Devin Haney versus Zaur Abdullaev, Heather Hardy versus Amanda Serrano, Michael Hunter versus Sergey Kuzman, Danilo Isnov on the card as well. Rob, where do you want to start here with this? You want to go with Michael Hunter and then work our way up?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, yep.
Michael Hunter obviously fighting Sergey Kuzman. Both guys not really undefeated, but in terms of their heavyweight run, undefeated. Obviously, Hunter having the cruiserweight loss against Alexander Usyk, but has been undefeated once he has moved up to heavyweight. And Kuzman having, was it a no contest? I think it was.
Let me quickly check. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
I think it was no contest. But both guys undefeated at heavyweight. Hunter, obviously a surging heavyweight name at this point, especially since he attached himself to Matchroom and seemingly all those matchups that Matchroom has for heavyweights materialized. Chisora, Parker, White, AJ, Usyk, like all those names are now names that are available to Michael Hunter. First up, though, is Sergey Kuzman, another great prospect in the heavyweight division. I think Hunter should be able to outbox Kuzman, because I don't think Kuzman's really that varied in his approach to his game. He is really one note in what he wants to do, what he wants to accomplish, how he accomplishes it, why he's effective at it. I think it is one note. Hunter has some levels, has some, just again, variety to his game. I think his footwork is obviously drastically better than Kuzman. I think that should probably lead him to a decision win here. Rob, your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I like this fight. I think
sorry, really quick. Shout out to the super chat. Aaron Munoz, what's your prediction for the Triple G versus Derevchenko fight? Well, obviously, my full prediction would be on that show when we talk about it that week. But Triple G should win that one. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think Derevchenko is made for Triple G. He's just going to walk onto something. But yeah, thank you for that super chat, top man. But Michael Hunter, Sugi Kuzman, yeah, I like that fight. I think that could be a really good fight. Yeah, I'm not sure what the betting odds are on that one, but I would say Hunter's probably the favourite. I wouldn't say Kuzman has, I don't know, blown me away, particularly with his performances just yet.
And I'll be honest, neither really has Michael Hunter. I know that might shock some people, but Hunter's a above average heavyweight, obviously. Same with Kuzman, but they're relatively on the same level, in my opinion. This is a good competitive matchup.
Yeah. I guess one guy takes a bit of a backseat, and the other guy's sort of not propelled in great proportions, but he throws in the mix. I mean, look, Hunter versus maybe the winner of Chisora Parker or something, then that really does propel, to the next level after that, or something like that. But yeah, definitely in the mix with that sort of next tier, that next block of heavyweights. You go down from the top guys to the next guys, and maybe you throw yourself in there. But yeah, I like that. I like this fight. I'll be looking forward to that one.
Next up, Heather Hardy versus Amanda Serrano. It's a fight that obviously is big for women's boxing, even though it feels like it's kind of getting undersold in how big it is. I think in large part that is just due to the current market for DAZN content as well. The fact that really, if we're being honest here, guys, none of these events this weekend are screaming out as wow events. Let's just be honest about it. But Heather Hardy, Amanda Serrano is a fantastic fight, and one that I do think, while fantastic, is pretty easy to predict. I think Serrano at this point in time is far too young, far too fast, far too athletic for Heather Hardy. Heather Hardy, even 3 years ago, was declining as an athlete, and now she is 3 years older. You go back and watch the first Shelly Vincent fight. That was fight of the year contender, right? That was a really good fight. Heather Hardy struggled with the speed of Shelly Vincent. If you go and watch Serrano, one of her best qualities is her hand speed, is her ability to fire off a 4 or 5 punch combination like that. And I think Hardy's going to have a really hard time adjusting to the athleticism of Serrano, the combination punching of Serrano, and overall just the technique. Serrano is really good at mixing up a combination to the head and body effortlessly, and on top of that, the technique is on point. This is going to be a tough fight for Heather Hardy to get past. I really don't understand how she could win this one, because traditionally she's a person that likes to be on the back foot, slip shots, work her jab a lot. I don't think Serrano is either A, going to let her play that game successfully, or let her play that game, period. So I can see a stoppage here for Serrano, but most likely a very one-sided, dominant decision for Serrano. And maybe a fight that propels Serrano to a higher level of combat sports fan conscience, because Heather Hardy is a name. She's a name for MMA fans. She's a name for combat sports fans across the world. She is. And on DAZN with Bellator, she is marketed with that overall brand quite well. If Serrano gets a win, it's huge for her. It is.
And Serrano crossover as well, hasn't she done bits and pieces?
She does Combates Americas, which is also on DAZN, but Combates is purely
lower than Bellator,
and it's purely for Latin MMA fighters. That's what it is. It's not for you won't see U.S. guys or European guys on Combates. It's purely for Central American and South American fighters.
As far as the fight, I think I don't know. It's like you said, maybe a difficult fight for Heather. I think she'll do a good account of herself, but I think by the end of it, it'll be. We've seen Heather Hardy look in a bad way at the end of some fights, But I think I saw a post she done. She said she's feeling. I know a lot of fighters say this, but she said she's feeling really good. Because I remember at the time, this was all the Serrano, Taylor, blah, 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 and there was talk. And Heather Hardy was thrown in the mix. And I was told that the weight might really be an issue. She might not be able to defend her belt or whatever. It's going to be real tough. But she says she's done weight really well, really healthy, and she feels great. But that being said, I think Serrano I think she'll be a bit too much for Heather. But I think it could be a real good, I think Heather could turn it into a bit of a brawl in the end, and just think fuck it and try and get on the inside and really turn it into something sort of fairly brutal. I think it could be a really good fight, but I do think Serrano will end up getting the better of it. But I hope it's a good advert for women's boxing, and I think both girls really respect each other, and there's been good sort of almost camaraderie between the two, even though they're going to be,
which unfortunately doesn't sell fights.
No, I know, but
because like Shields Hammer, they had animosity that sold, Like I wonder if Hardy and Serrano had like a real beef and a real history of beef, would that propel it to a main event status over Devin Haney? I don't know. Possible.
Maybe depends. Maybe Jordan should have tweeted something.
Don't mention that.
Oh yeah, giving away trade secrets.
Sources,
son, buddy.
Sources say.
Listen here, buddy. Calling everyone buddy, that's funny. But no, I think it could be a real good scrap, and maybe Heather, I don't know if this is going to be maybe not a last fight, maybe she does another MMA fight, but I mean, she's hopefully earning some good money. But obviously this is all roads lead to Katie Taylor at some point off the back of this fight. That was the point of the Serrano deal, to get to Taylor for the third fight. So, but Taylor's going to be fighting in Manchester November, going for a title, I believe, at 140 pounds, moving up. So
obviously the main event, Devin Haney versus Abdullaev for the WBC mandatory, I believe, right?
And the interim belt, even though
it doesn't matter.
Lomachenko's just been crowned the champion.
I'll be honest here. The more I did tape study on Abdullaev, the more I was convinced Haney should have a really dramatic win here. Hank Lundy, a guy that is long in the tooth, let's just put it that way, was still giving Abdullaev a lot of issues with his athleticism, his ability to just slip and roll under shots. That Philly shell and the style, that sort of defensive style that Haney has as well. But Haney is a 20-year-old athlete that's coming into his own. I think Haney, on top of being able to slip the very traditional style and shots of Abdullaev does have a good jab, good left hook as well. But I think that's all he has. He's not a varied boxer in any way. I think Haney should be able to slip shots, get some counters in, and eventually hurt Abdullaev and get a dramatic win here. And on top of that, Abdullaev is not like a guy that at 11-0 has a deep amateur pedigree. I think he only had like 10 amateur fights. The guy is, I'll be honest, a nobody that picked up a win against Hank Lundy. I don't know how he got this high of a ranking other than beating Hank Lundy. And Hank Lundy being a guy that's been a perennial top 20 gatekeeper, it seems. But Haney is still a talented athlete, a talented boxer, great IQ in the ring. He should be able to sort of piece apart Abdullaev within 2 or 3 rounds. And on top of that, probably get the finish within 4 or 6 rounds. So I don't see any path to victory for Abdullaev, who is at the very best a poor man's Victor Postal. At the very best, a poor man's Victor Postal. Rob, your thoughts on the event?
Yeah, and I think it could be a good fight, but I think Devin Haney's just going to be too much. I think he's definitely, even off the back of that knockout on DAZN, I think he's definitely launched himself more into the, that moment that went sort of boxing viral. That's really propelled him more into the eyes of people. He's seems to, and I know IFL done a campaign to get him. By the time we see, tomorrow on the thing, we want him to have X amount more Twitter followers. And I remember Eddie Hearn selling it, and that really did jump up. He gained a lot more. So I really think he's on like the upward trend, and really, I think he would have gained. I think he was a confident lad anyway, but I think the way things are going just now, I think he's super confident. You know, when Lomachenko fought, he put out some tweets through the night, you know, bring me Lomachenko. And then Bob said he thinks, was it Shakur was more competitive than Devin Haney, Lomachenko. And he had something to say about that as well. I think Haney is definitely on that upward trend, and I expect him to come through this one again with, you know, flying colours and looking super good doing it at the same time.
Moving over also on DAZN, but on Saturday, the Haney card's on Friday, the Fury card's on Saturday, and the Munguia versus Patrick Allotey card is on Saturday as well at the StubHub, now renamed Dignity Health Sports Park Arena. But, I mean, what do we think about Munguia at this point in time? He has looked bad against everyone he should look good against. Patrick Allotey is a guy that has lost against guys who are not championship caliber, like Patrick Teixeira, for example, or Kanat Islam. You know, he has lost to guys that are not the caliber of championship. But then again, at this point in time, is even Munguia really at the caliber of a championship guy? Honestly, I don't know. He might just be a belt holder. You know what I mean? In that really derogatory sense, unfortunately, because even a guy like Patrick Allotey, who has decent combinations, decent footwork, you know, not a great fighter in any sense of the word, but above average in certain things, he might give Munguia a lot of troubles. And I can't pick a Munguia fight anymore. I can't make a prediction because every guy that I'm thinking, oh, look, this is a guy that's lost to certain people. It's a guy that's not at the world level. He should beat up this guy, and he doesn't. He struggles every time.
Like who?
Like maybe Dennis Hogan.
What you gonna do, brother?
So Patrick, he might give some issues for Jaime over here. So I'm not even going to pick this fight. I think it's impossible to pick a Jaime Munguia fight until he shows me something that shows that he is a world-level fighter. Until then, I'm going to think anyone can beat him. All these unknown guys or guys that we barely know, I'm going to think they can beat him too because he looks bad. He does not look like a complete fighter, like a guy that belongs even in the top 10 of this division.
Yeah, since he completely iced, was it Saddam Ali?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been less and less like impressive each time. I'm not sure. I think I can confidently pick Munguia in this one, but especially if no one's stopping Munguia, yeah, watch out on those cards. That's all I'm going to say. Because I don't think they're going to give the B-side too much in favour if they've, you know, managed to go the distance. But yeah, I think I'll go with Munguia. But I hear what you're saying. You know, I think he's just got less impressive each and every time. I don't know if weight's really an issue now. If this is really not healthy for him and he's struggling because you know, he's a big boy. He's a young lad. He's growing. And there's been talk of 160 for a long time, you know, but I don't know.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia as the co-main against Avery Sparrow, and sort of stitching back to the talk about Hank Lundy. Avery Sparrow also has a win against Hank Lundy in his last fight, similar to Abdullaev facing Devin Haney on the other DAZN card. Avery Sparrow is going to give Garcia some issues here because
this could be the upset, I think,
because Sparrow is a guy that he doesn't pack enough power, I think, to really knock out Garcia. You know, he has decent pop, but he's not a knockout guy. You know, he has like 3 knockouts with 10 wins. You know, he's not a guy that's knocking out people at this level, so I assume he's not a knockout guy. But what he does do quite well is he slip shots, he evades your pressure, and reestablishes distance. Like, he does that so extremely well that the rest of his game, while not that great, like his boxing in terms of offensive output isn't that great, his combinations aren't that great, accuracy, timing, like all those things are kind of just either mediocre or slightly above average. But what he does absolutely fantastic is he will slip a shot, roll out, and reestablish range. And I can see Ryan Garcia, a guy that, traditionally speaking, has had awful pressure footwork. A guy that cannot cut off the ring to save his life. I could see Sparrow slipping shots and rolling out, going back to the center time and time and time again. And Ryan Garcia is just this ineffective fighter in there. It's an ugly fight, and Sparrow pulls out a decision. I can 100% see that. However, I will add that this is now, the second or third camp with Eddie Reneso and Canelo. Hopefully this is the camp we see this gigantic increase in ability in this talented guy, in this talented kid in Ryan Garcia. Because let's be honest, guys, he is a talent. He has athletic talent. He has power in both hands, speed. He's tall, rangy. Like, he has the tools to be a good boxer. It's about teaching him those tools and him learning them. I don't know if he's there yet, to be quite honest. This is going to be the fight that sort of tells us that, because if he cannot successfully pressure Avery Sparrow, then that's a great sign that he is still not ready and he's still not learning with Eddie Reneso and Canelo down there. Rob, your thoughts on this fight?
You sort of took a little bit of what I was going to say. I was going to say similar about he's had a long time in camp between fights. This is hopefully where the gym work is going to start really showing. I do think this is a potential upset, but that being said, I do think I will take Garcia for the win.
I'll pick Ryan Garcia if I make that clear, but Sparrow, he could easily just make this an ugly fight and win.
Yeah, that would mean Ryan having to grow up real quick if he finds himself going into deep waters and potentially things not going his way and struggling with style. We'll see what he's really made of, but I think he will pull it out. But when this got made, I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." So Sparrow's no joke. He's kind of been there and he knows what he's doing. So this is a step up in some regards, experience wise for young Ryan. So, but yeah, I will still go for the win for Ryan Garcia.
Also on the card, Franchon Dazoun versus Alejandra Jimenez for the WBC women's super middleweight title. And Diego Pacheco, obviously, good friend of the show. Not really. We just did an interview with him long ago. He's also on the card. And that's about it.
Matchroom sending him over. That's nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
Back and forth.
And plus, he should be fighting in this venue. Like, this is a venue for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Is the women's fight the other Mayan bout? I believe.
No, they're just giving one to...
No, there's two.
No, there is two.
They're doing two.
I know they are doing two, but it's one for what? It's Munguia. They're doing one for a non-WBC champion in Munguia, right? And the other one's a non-WBC fight as well, right? Or at least a non-WBC championship fight. Because that was your tweet. I remember you tweeting something about like both these fights are not for a WBC belt. Why is it not for Devin Haney, who is fighting for your interim belt?
Let me look it up.
I think it's Munguia and Fury, isn't it? Isn't Fury getting?
I didn't think it was Munguia, but let me.
I don't know. I also don't care, to be honest.
No, I know.
You want to go to callers?
Oh no, you're right. It is. It is from Munguia.
Hey, look at me. Munguia and Fury?
Yeah, I knew. I said Fury earlier.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I knew it had to be. They had to do at least one Mexican fighter for the Mayan belt. Otherwise, it would just be like, really, like, what's the point here? Let's go out to call.
Viva Mexico.
Via Germany and England.
Yeah.